What's up, motivators? Welcome back to Pure Bullfit. I can't be the only one that hears that. What is that?
I felt a great disturbance in the force.
And I know it's bothering a bunch of you that I'm talking about obesity so much, but I'm one of the only damn ones. So if you want to have other people help out, feel free. God damn.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extraordinary.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining me. We've got something important to talk about today. A serious topic that we don't take serious enough. Healthy at any size, body positivity, fat acceptance, and fat shaming. But before we get into any of that, there's something important that I'd like to acknowledge. To my viewers and those of you who may have found this video who are overweight, obese, or morbidly so, fat shaming is absolutely real. You have endured bullshit that you shouldn't have to based off of your size. People have given themselves permission to treat you poorly, to dismiss you, to demean you, based off of the idea they have in their mind that you are undeserving of respect and that you are lazy and have brought this upon yourself. I am sorry that you have endured those things. But we are going to talk about the consequences of being overweight and obese, but that is in no way a judgment of you, your value as a person, or your right to dignity. I promise you that. But Kevin, everybody harps on being fat. There's lots of other unhealthy lifestyles out there. You are absolutely right. Smoking, alcoholism, drug use, steroids, chainsaw juggling, CrossFit. But every last one of them pales in comparison to the size and scope of obesity in America. All of them have resources and organizations dedicated to getting people help, and none of them have celebrities or would-be influencers standing up and saying, no, this is healthy. You can be healthy at any size. Can you imagine one of those old smoking advertisements today? Smoking is like exercise for your lungs. Feel the burn. 70% of us are overweight moving towards obese. 40% of us here in America are already obese, and 10% of us are morbidly obese. We're talking about this because we need to, because the consequences are very real. And just because these other unhealthy lifestyles exist, it does not make any of these consequences less pressing and less concrete. They don't go away just because somebody else is doing something that they shouldn't with their body. No matter how it makes us feel, the consequences are just as real. So it's time for some real talk. Obesity is a serious issue with very real consequences that can't be simply reframed by changing our mindset. The risk of all major causes of mortality are drastically increased when you're overweight and obese. Heart disease, liver disease, stroke, cancer. More than 10 cancers are exacerbated by obesity. In addition to those that significantly affect your quality of life, depression, osteoarthritis, infertility, erectile dysfunction, sleep apnea, high blood pressure, and of course, type 2 diabetes. Now, have people used these things as an excuse to treat you poorly in your life? No doubt. But their shitty attitude isn't killing you. Obesity is. And on that point, to those of you out there that give overweight people a hard time, but you smoke, drink to excess, use steroids, drugs, or otherwise do unhealthy things, and your response is, it's my body and I can do what I want with it, you need to shut the fuck up. You don't belong in this conversation. Your opinion is hypocritical and irrelevant. What you need to do is take a look at yourself, go get some help, get that shit fixed, then you can come back to this conversation. We'll be waiting for you. Excess body fat is not simply an aesthetic issue. This is a scan of two different women, one at a healthy body fat percentage of 20% and one woman who is significantly obese at 40%. The bright mass that you see is visceral fat surrounding and suffocating her organs. It causes massive inflammation, reduces organ function, interferes with hormone production and balance, and is one of the major contributing factors to increased risk of cancer. Excess body weight doesn't just figuratively suffocate you, it literally does it. Increased weight around the neck and chest and face contribute heavily to obstructive sleep apnea, collapsing airways to catastrophic effect. Not only does it interfere with your respiration, but consequently dozens of biological processes. In healthy populations, obstructive sleep apnea affects approximately 2% of men and 4% of women. But that number skyrockets in obese populations from 25% to 45%, and it's directly correlated with how obese they are. So let's address the gorilla in the room. Not all significant increases in body weight are because we eat too much and we exercise too little. There are other factors at play. There's very poor genetics, there's medications, there's depression, there's medical conditions. All of these things can absolutely play a role in whether or not we gain or lose weight. They are factors, but it is important to note that they make up the smallest portion of people who are overweight, obese, and morbidly obese. Since 1983, our consumption of food has skyrocketed up 33%, and we are doing less than ever. Technology has afforded us the opportunity of more convenience than we have ever experienced in human history, and we are taking full advantage of it by doing less, by being less active. So yes, it's really hard to know what to do and how to do it. There are obstacles, but none of them are insurmountable. I took this picture at Walmart in the grocery section. I grabbed just a few of the candy-themed cereals. There were dozens more. Why is this shit there? Because we buy it. Our free will, our own agency, plays a part in why we are one of the fattest, if not the fattest country on earth. As Stan Efferton says in one of my favorite rants on the subject, do more, eat less. It's simple, not easy. So yes, there are influences out there, but it does not free us of our responsibility of our own choices. So here we are. We're in a place where over decades we have gradually increased our average size, but haven't really changed the way that we interact or treat people who are overweight. Why does that matter? It's relevant because the completely valid objections that people have to being treated poorly for their size or the way they look are being conflated with a sense of positivity and that being healthy. Having a positive outlook about yourself is healthy. You are valid. You have dignity. You might even be beautiful. All of those things are true. But we have celebrities, international influencers who are morbidly obese who are stating that you can be healthy at any size, and it is factually incorrect. It is misleading and dangerously so. Right now, you might fall into metabolically normal ranges, but that's for now, and it doesn't encompass all of the problems and consequences that come with being overweight, obese, and morbidly so. Look, we all know that you don't get cancer from smoking your first cigarette. We understand that it takes repeated exposure over time to raise that risk. And it seems like everybody's got a grandma that smoked for 90 years and never got lung cancer. But nobody is foolish enough to state that smoking is healthy. We know that it's not. It is the same with obesity. The science is in. The verdict is clear. Obesity, being overweight for long periods of time, morbid obesity, it's not healthy. Not everyone will suffer the same, but everyone will suffer from that lifetime of choices. You can be positive about yourself. You can refuse to define your value by your size or the way you look, and I celebrate you for that. But you cannot fly in the face of science and say that the sky is lavender, not blue, because you find it more personally validating. We have got to change course. 2 in 5 of us are obese. 6 in 10 are overweight and on their way to obese. And while I will shout to the high heavens that you do not deserve the way that you have been treated for your size, it does not mean that you do not have a responsibility to make some changes. And I do recognize that it's hard to know where to start or feel like you've got resources available to help you make a change, even if you wanted to. But you don't have to do it alone. There are communities, a growing number of communities out there that literally simply exist to help you get to a better quality of life and longevity. Pure Bullfit is one of them. That is why I made Pure Bullfit. After my sister passed, our last conversation was making something valuable out of our lives. The very last conversation I had with her. And that left such a strong impact on me, I finally pulled the trigger on something I had been conceptualizing for years. I don't know how to do any of this, but I am just going at it as hard as I can. Because we need to change. If I've got the smallest ability to make a positive change in somebody else's life, in any area of it, I have the responsibility to do so. That's what Pure Bullfit's about. But mine's not the only community. Mine's new and small. If you want to join something more established, take a look at organizations like Every Damn Day Fitness, which has one of the most comprehensive client support systems I've ever encountered out of remote or direct coaches. Want to focus on athleticism instead of weight loss? Want a big name? Well, check out Jeff Cavaliere, one of the most well-established personalities in the industry, has a massive knowledge base, and his programs are accessible to everybody, and you can reach them anywhere. That not your style either? Maybe you want to get stupid strong. Check out Scott Brangle and Cameron Gardner over at East Coast West Coast Strength and Conditioning. Maybe check out Leifa Engels, one of the internationally renowned athletes that trained under Scott Brangle. She's world's strongest woman and runs her own company called Unicorn Strength. There are options out there. There are people that you can trust. They're not all the self-proclaimed keto king Thomas DeLauer or the bullshit artist Jim Stepani. They're not all trying to fleece you out of your money. It's not all rife with danger. There are good people out there who will help. Pure Bullfit, we may be small, but we're free. We will always have free programs for people who want to put on size, gain strength, or lose weight. And we will always have a community that is dedicated to helping you and supporting you, absolutely at no cost whatsoever. Our goal is to remove the obstacles between you and having that longevity and that better quality of life. This is a serious problem that we all need to address. I'm Kevin, and we are Pure Bullfit. If you liked the video, go ahead and subtly let me know by clicking the like button. If you want to see more of this content, click subscribe. Maybe hit the notification bell. We will be back with more videos, but between now and then, guys, take care of yourselves.